Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Get rid of that. Welcome to the stream. Today, we are playing. Is the audio working with this? No, it is not. I've already fucked up. We gotta restart this. But what we are supposed to be playing is Sanctus Reach. What if I turn off the volume on this? It says the sound is there. Oh yeah. There's definitely supposed to be noise. Well, it's close enough. It's close enough. What the fuck is this? VPs when the turn limit runs out. I need that open. There we go. Alright. What's this guy got? Yes, we want that. What's this guy? Bit pricey. We want these land speeders, they're always good. And we need a bit of bulk. It's a nice bit of bulk. We need some fast attacks. Nah, we'll be fine. We'll take this, transport. We'll definitely take that. We'll need some of these. Alright, so then we could get these two flame squads to go on the Rhino. Alright. Now, in my mind, this will work. How are we going to get through this? There's one barricade there. Alright. So we'll need this guy. Get this thing over here. Hold 12 troops. So 4, 8. Oh. Hi, Dragos, there you are. So that's 6 and 10. Oh, and I should have got 2 heroes. Oh well. That should be right. You guys up there. I hope there's not too much distance between us and the enemy. Otherwise that's going to get very messy. This one. No, you'll all go on this side. Maybe I'll take him over here. Alright. Looks like that's everything. Let's hope this works. What's this mean? Alright, what do we got? Knobs, boys. Okay. I'm gonna fuck them up. Kadoosh, kadoosh, kadoosh. You boys run for your goddamn life. You get in there. Let's get over out here. Sluggers. Oh. Oh no. Alright, you guys can move up. Pop the shit out of them. Puss. That's what you get. Alright. Puss. Oh. That one actually did damage. They're gonna glance at the death. not going to be pretty. Oh, wasn't too bad. That's not pretty. Oh, that's really not pretty. Yeah, got one of them. Aha. Gadoosh, gadoosh. do the same thing. What are they at? Take 70%. Just used to get fired. Right on them. Yes. Alright. There we go. Oh, buddy. Well, this ain't gonna be pretty. Oh, shit. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, that's not. Oh, bud! Damn! That's rare. That's not too bad at all. Oh, that hurt. That really hurt. Ah, fucking hell. Fucking orc players, man. Take forever. They'll do more. Oh, that's what I like it. You know, what do these guns have? Oh, hits all man, tyrant full power. This. 25, 80. cans up first. Ooh. Yeah, we don't need that. Killer can with the big shooter and a regular killer can. Go with the big shooter. Maybe it's like doing something to that. We just have these cats move in. Ooh. Tank grenade. Beads movement for 2 to 5 turns. Reveal map and get accuracy bonus to enemies. I don't need that. We'll let these guys move up here. Shoot them. And shoot them. Let's end it. Alright. See if we can clear that out. Ah, that was probably a waste. Not probably, that was a waste. Turn the hull as well. What do I have? Use ballistic protection damage reduction. Wuss, that's what I'm looking for. Probably shouldn't be grouping them all up, to be honest. Quickly hide in there. That's what I should do actually. Get these guys mounted up. Ready to roll out next turn. Still got nothing better to do with their lives. Puss puss. Yeah, buddy, that fucks up shit up. sakes, really? Thank fuck for that. Inferno at scare grenade. Ooh. Yeah, buddy. Just get wrecked. 6 turns, that's plenty of time. If they don't all get hit by a crater and die. Shut that. Well, I'll be honest, I don't have a choice in the matter. We're playing Space Wolves. But yeah, how's it going, mate? This is, Sanctus Reach. I had to clap. Because that's what retards do.
Team Jacob backslash. Ready good M80.
I'll be honest, this operation has been a wee bit of a mess. Not too much of a mess. Oh, I want to hit. I want to hit these cunts. Oh, and I'll be telling everyone that passes through that pretty sure I'm all set up and good to go on Bitwave. So at the moment it's 8:30 p.m. here. I was thinking when it gets to like 10 o'clock or something, hop on over to Bitwave, and then yeah, we can go watch some fucking awesome shit. We can have all the fun, bud. Scientists told us it wasn't possible, but we did it. We found a way.
That sounds noise, fam.
Fuck, I haven't heard that one used. Oh, noise. I thought you said noise. I was like, I never heard someone use the phrase noise to describe something as being good. I made a whole sweet new intro as well. And I've had to make sure to clearly mark it as the M18, the R18 one. That's our rating system here in Australia. We got G, PG, it's pretty much PG-13.
I told you about how I got into 40K recently. Well, I also just found out about Dawn of War.
Oh, no way. No way. Dude. Original Dawn of War, man. And there's so many mods for it now. There's, for Dawn of War Original #1, there's, I think it's called the Apocalypse mod. And it adds in new factions, adds in new units, that go all the way up to Apocalypse, man. So you can get Warhound Titans and shit like that marching around the battlefield. Yeah, new buildings and crap like that. It's like a whole fucking fan-made expansion to the game. But even then, Dawn of War on its own is pretty sweet. These cats. I don't know. I don't think #3 is that good. #1's really good because it's pretty much it's so. Oh yeah, bud. Never underestimate the power of boredom. That's how people hack into the Pentagon, alright? Because they were bored. Yeah, fuck this thing up. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Dawn of War 1 is... It sets a perfect standard for Dawn of War as a strategy game. It covers all the bases.
Let me summarize what I found out about Sonnet 4.
Ooh.
There is no time to Velost. Space Marines, Today the Empires, We fight for our honor as Blog Revens as Spes Marens.
Oh, but... Oh, it sounds even dumber through the fucking text-to-speech. Nah, but you can't do better than the original Boreal voice actor. I think that was no, not Graham McNeil. Scott McNeil. Yes, Scott McNeil. Mighty is he. I'm pretty sure that's it. Otherwise, shame on me. Oh, buddy. What am I doing? Oh, I need to get my goddamn point across. Dawn of War 1, great strategy game.
My gosh, I heard that speech and I was dying.
But yeah, Dawn of War 1, great strategy game. Dawn of War 2, it's a lot more tactically based, which I like a lot. It's real big emphasis on micromanagement. There's no base building. Really fucking cool concept though, and I think they pull it off really well. And then what is it? Dawn of War 3, I haven't played. It's not made by the original guys who did Dawn of War 1 and 2. Yeah, and Dawn of War 3 actually came back from the dead because the original project died. But yeah, I didn't like the look of it. And from what I've heard, it's either not good or average.
Oh dang, they went full Halo on Dawn of War 3 to see.
Yeah, they did. They tried to make it like this weird League of Legends type hybrid, and it just doesn't work like that, man. That's not how it's not how Dawn of War plays. I mean, fuck. Even if they made a fucking 140k MOBA, that'd probably be better. Where like the minions are Imperial Guardsmen and cultists, and you play as like heretic heroes and Imperium heroes. Plus, there you go, Games Workshop, make money on that.
TBH MOBA type game wouldn't be too bad in a 40k setting.
Yeah. Alright. Shoot some cargo out there. Shoot some cargo out there. What's this guy gonna do? Fire on that.
Also, what whip is this?
Oh, Sanctus Reach. You'll find it on Steam under one of the 40k games. It's pretty sweet. It plays a lot like the board game without actually playing like the board game. So it still gets to be its own thing. It's still going to give you a few surprises. Alright, secure the area. Hang on. Secure the area. Buddy. Nah, not worth. Not worth. You sit that way. Fuck, I'm pretty much gonna wipe them from the board before the game ends. Fucking eat flamethrower, you cunts. Eat double flamethrower. Eating good, cunts.
Yeah, you are wrecking the footballers.
Shooting up them chavs, yeah? Nah, football's gay, rugby's better. I'm pretty sure this will be it. Let's... I'm pretty sure there's no one left on the board now. Take that. Oh no, there's a couple sneaky fellas over there. Alright, everyone look over that way now. Alright.
Sneaky footballers trying to get the sneaky touchdown there.
So, damn, they did a lot of damage to that thing. Just keep burning it. It's made of fungus. Alright, I am quite certain they are now officially extinct. Get all the boys in position. Alright. Oh, pulling a fast one on us. Big Tooth coming in from the outside flank, passes it to the winger. Oh fuck, a rocket launcher. Ooh, it's not fun anymore. buddy. That's always fun. Wuss! Oh, this has got the frag hammer. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we'll fuck these guns up. Wuss, wuss! These frag hammer rounds are OP as fuck. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, I'm sticking with it now.
I also got with a girl thanks to your encouragement the other week, but it was unexpectedly
Tuh.
the most scarring thing of my life.
Well, now it's over and done with. Now it's... The first step is always the hardest. It only gets easier from there. But trust me, it's the most humiliating thing for everyone. First time you ask someone out. Oh, buddy. It's like a...
I will begin by saying I swear this is 100% true.
It's gonna be good.
So, we get to the restaurant, and she's super flirtatious with me. We get back to her cart and start making out and whatnot. Get to second base or whatever it's called. And then she says this feels so weird. I ask why.
No, I'm on the edge of my seat, bud.
She said because I had drunken sex with your brother a year ago.
Oh, fun. Oh, bud, small world. Oh, buddy.
Dude, that was my first hookup and I'm scarred for life.
But dude, come on, let's be real. What were the odds on that, bud? What were the odds on that? Like, it's probably better you got scarred for life. Because from now on, you can always tell yourself, come on, it can't be that bad. Oh, bud. Oh, fuck, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do on this
My
map.
brother is super promiscuous, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh, bud. Okay, controlling central VPs. Alrighty then. That was a pretty good meme, I must say. Pretty good meme. Don't need that. Need them. Them.
Like if it was my friend or something. Fine, cool, whatever. I'd probably fist bump him honestly. But my brother, no THX. I accidentally went full Alabama. Kind
Indirect incest, you reckon? Well, I guess if it makes you feel any better, that's not how it works on like a scientific level. But I understand the sentiment. Is that good? What's this guy have?
This is true.
Still pretty funny though. Right, I think this should be right. We need to control key central locations. Okay, shit. I'll have these cunts going around a flank, so they might take control of this area. I'll have you, is the lower ranking one. You might come in from this side, so you can get more support.
Anyway, thanks for listening, Chili Bite. I figured I should at least given how crazy.
Yeah, well, thanks for the story. I thought it was funny as fuck. I gotta stop thinking about it. It makes me laugh every time. Alright. Frontline Terminators. We're gonna go Flamer and then Stormbolter. So we're gonna have a Flamer. Get rid of him. And then a Stormbolter. And then that should close the line over there. These guys might move in. We'll stay behind to support.
It makes me cringe every time I think about it personally.
I'm sorry, but I can't sympathize. Terminators up in here. Them around. That.
Ha 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 ha.
Alright. This should be good. What a lot of room. Others slayers. Fuck, the camera's pretty dodgy in this though. Alrighty then. Holy shit. Oh boy, what a mess. This guy's got nothing special. No. We need to thin the herd. Or at least start working towards it.
Are you gonna play on Team Edward?
Actually, I'm pretty sure there is DLC where you can play as them. Is there? I might have to go check. I assume you're talking about the Blood Angels. Oh, wow, that was a solid hit. And you in, fire on them. Fire on them.
I don't see anything about blood angles unfortunately, but I could be wrong.
Hmm. Wuss. Yeah, buddy. Duckified green skin. Just them explosive rounds, but we should just give this to all our troops. Wuss. Don't go for these guys. Whoa, buddy. Still got the AIDS.
Also, is it true that Australian males all have chest hair in the shape of Australia?
Not really, because it depends how long you've been in Australia. It forms over time, like between generations. Hmm.
Kind of like how after several generations in America, you get Texas-shaped chest hair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, if you live in the good part of America. Whew. Yes, I want to shoot the big guy. Alright, that's everything. Oh, buddy.
True. Otherwise you will take a big L on your chest if you lived in California.
Yeah, but you wouldn't grow any chest hair because all you drink is fucking soy in California. Pretty sure it's California I'm thinking of anyway. I'm having doubts now. Yeah, California's East Coast. I'm pretty sure I'm correct.
No, you're right. It's Cucamonga.
Ah, good. I don't want to speak lowly of some other state that didn't deserve it, you know?
They are being purged with the fires of the Emperor as we speak. Actually,
Oh, true. Fuck. I barely know my own geography, let alone fucking America's. Someone got storm frag rounds, that's what I want. Over here. Pump these cunts. Pump these cunts. Yes.
apparently you Australians trolled them by selling them a puffton of a tree that becomes super flammable after 100 years. And that was in early 1900s.
Oh, yeah, sounds about right. We also sold them eucalyptus. Extremely flammable. In fact, eucalyptus leaves, if they get hot enough, they explode. And, you know, it's Australia.
LOL. Best troll ever TBH.
There was another one we did on the Yanks. In World War II, as part of our ration packs, we all got a jar.
Crackers.
Yeah, we all got a all the Aussies got a jar of Vegemite with their ration packs in World War II. And when we were doing operations with the Americans had no idea what it was. So they asked the Aussies what the Vegemite was for, and we told them that you rub it on your skin, or you cover your skin with it before you head out into the jungles, because it keeps the insects off. And so all the Americans started asking for Vegemite and then smearing it on themselves before going out into the jungle, because they thought it was keeping off mozzies.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever ever had Vegemite or like handled it, but it's not a comfortable substance, if I can put it like that.
I imagine they got wrecked pretty hard.
Especially because they would have been all probably would have been sweaty too because of the humidity, so that their sweat would have been mixing with the fucking Vegemite as they walked. Oh, my bloody oh, I got a mate who's in the military, and the cunt loves fucking spicy food. And when he was off, he was in the middle of some training thing. Oh no, yeah, in the middle of like an exercise or whatever they call it. And while he was on his break, we went to this one shop, and they had like this real fucking spicy beef jerky with like chipotle sauce and shit like that. And I had some, man. That's fucking spicy, man. All right, real fucking spicy. That thing put Indian food to shame. Made Indian food seem like casual. But anywho, he ends up having to go back to his job, and they go out on an exercise, and while my mate's walking along with the group, one of the other soldiers is like, he pulls out his jerky and he starts eating it, and one of the other soldiers is like, "Oh, bud, you got beef jerky? Can I have some?" And he's like, "Yeah, bud, go ahead, take as much as you want." And then every cunt would take a piece, bite into it, and it'd be way too fucking spicy, bud. And so they have to drink all the water in their canteen to get the spice out. And now they got no fucking water for the rest of the fucking journey. Fuck, we've got so many turns left to go.
That's amazing.
Pretty solid troll. Oh, war boss. Fucking eat some of these, cunt. Well, this kind of tempest ammo.
I was never afraid of fungus before I got into 40K.
I don't know, you might be underestimating fungus. Fungus can do some real fucked up shit. You know about the one fungus that, so it lands as a spore on like an ant, and then the spore slowly starts growing on the ant until it starts growing into their skin, and when it grows into their skin, it slowly starts making its way to its brain, and when it gets control of the brain, it controls the ant to go back to its hive, and then when it gets into the hive, it pretty much pisses all the ants off, so all the ants kill it. And then by ripping the ant open, it also rips open the fungus, so the fungus can spread throughout the hive and then kill the whole hive. Pretty much the flood. Killed his own boy.
That is an extremely creative exterminatus method right there.
fuck? Did they just clip through that? Whoa. Oh, that's not pretty. That's really not pretty. Oh fuck, there's more.
Speaking of stuff, what do you think about Robo Girl and Imp?
Oh fuck. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop to explain this. From the game's perspective, because you can get Robo Girly Man on the field now. I don't like the lore behind it. I think it's a bit dumb. I don't like how he got there in that regard. But as in terms of the gameplay, I have versed him. He's pretty fucking OP. Like, not ludicrously OP. I'm sure there's more OP stuff, but he's real fucking powerful. He's a Death Star, as the old saying goes. But in terms of lore,
The lore behind his resurrection, you mean?
yeah. Well, it's not really a resurrection in its defense. He's finally healed his fucking throat wound. He's finally cleared his throat. We're gonna have to eat a few bullets. That's what the Terminator armor's for, boys.
Yes, but the Eldar Grill killed him first in order to res him.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I can't even remember. I kind of fell out of love with 40k at that point because Chaos got fucking kicked to shit. Oh fuck, didn't mean to do that. Fuck, that's not good. Pistol and frag ammo. Alright. But yeah, finally getting back on topic. Robert Gilliman on his own. Yeah, I don't know. He's supposed to be kind of generic, but I just don't think he's that interesting. I think there's just better, more interesting characters out there. Because everything kind of went perfectly for him on his ascent. Ooh. Yeah, and in his defense, it comes down to bad writing. And like, yeah, the way he's been treated by, and the Ultramarines as well have been treated by GW. Because he isn't really that Mary Sueish.
No real weakness.
Because his real weakness, so to say, is that he's
I'm not super large, but still.
yeah. So Robert Gilliman's weakness is that he's about planning. He's a real good planner, but he's not good at thinking on the fly. That's why he made the Codex Astartes. And the Codex Astartes was something he'd been working on for ages. So he planned every single possible event and every single combat scenario. And so the Codex Astartes, and that's why that's a big thing, because it's really reliable. Because he's pretty much found the answer to every scenario. But then the Tyranids show up. And when the Tyranids first showed up, they slaughtered the living fuck out of the Ultramarines. Because the Ultramarines were still going off the Codex Astartes. And the Codex Astartes was written before the Tyranids were discovered. So there was no combat plan to deal with a full-on hive mind like the Tyranids were. And so they had no idea what the fuck to do.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And so, yeah, that's Gilliman's weakness. He's not good at unconventional warfare. He's a man that, he's a man of planning. And so if you can hit him before he's able to cook up a plan, you can get him good. Teleport over here. Holy shit, you shit cunt. Ah. Fucking drunk as fuck, Dreadnought. Oh, he's gonna hit. Oh, nice. Moving on up. What do we got? Inferno. Alright. Yep. Oh, fuck, a weird boy. Pump him with a couple rounds. There you go. You guys take that. Yes, thank you, I know. Go on here. Bring it down, boys. it's not even fantasy anymore. Full on. Fantasy is officially over. Yeah. So the fantasy officially ended with the end times. And so now they have the Age of Sigma. And yeah, the first time they had the rules, it was all fucked. In fact, hang on, we'll go get a video about it. YouTube. From another Aussie cunt who explains this in a far more boring and mundane manner than I possibly could. The outer circle. Oh, that's right. Age of Sigma. We're gonna have to shut this goddamn music up and crank up the video.
What a lot of people are going to expect when they click on this video is mass nerd rage at the dismembering of fantasy, or is it maybe love for our new Sigmarine overlords?
Yeah, the goddamn Sigmarines,
Well,
man.
actually it's neither. Sure, I have contempt for the thing, but to be honest, I'm going to lay out some points here and provide some kind of group therapy.
Okay, quick interjection. So, I think they're the Stormcast Eternal, which are the Chosen of Sigmar or some shit like that. They're full-on Space Marines. Except, instead of Space Marines have their armor powered by, a nuclear reactor, the armor of the Stormcast Eternals
Sigmarine?
is powered by
The heck?
magic. But otherwise, for all other intents and purposes, they are Space Marines in a fantasy setting. And that's why they are called Sigmarines. Actually, doubling up on a video, we're going to Brother Alpha Booster. This is a hardcore derailment, bruh. Look at this hardcore derailment. Sigma.
Oh boy.
Ultramarines! The majestic might of the Astartes cannot be contained in but one realm any longer! There are more emperors out there who require our glorious aid! Come with me, my brothers! We must spread our prestigious presence! The Ultramarines will be the greatest beings in the multiverse! Ground Marines!
Ground Marines, charge!
LOL, this is hilarious.
Let's look at why
Yeah.
the change was made.
Brother
in the
Alpha
first
Booster.
place.
He's quite
Basically,
iconic.
everyone who had a fantasy army, the long-time
followed him
gamers,
for a long time.
they'd been building their armies for about 20 years.
That's amazing, LOL.
And had consistently amassed quite the force.
He was the
Problem they
undisputed
didn't
king
really
of the
need to
Warhammer
buy
Leagues
anything
for a
new,
while.
because they'd been collecting for such a long time. And they rarely had any interest in actually starting a new faction and devoting another 20 years of solid buying to it. This meant that it was up to the fresh blood. It simply wasn't happening. Now, since financial numbers are hard to get right, and since some asshole in the comments will always question a percentage figure, I'm just going to say sales were low. They were really low for Warhammer Fantasy. So if you're a company and you have to shake up the meta to try and encourage new blood into your game, try and encourage people who are already there, that they want to buy a new army, how do you do it? Do you try a thoughtful approach, garnering player feedback, making nuanced changes? Perhaps you look at your competitors and see what makes their games tick. Maybe look at Mantic's Kings of War, which was written by people who had originally written a lot of the fantasy materials. Or do you just come up with whatever system will net you a result quickly for better or worse?
Hey, you hear it all right?
Needless to say,
this
they
cunt's,
chose
yeah,
the
very
latter.
soft-spoken.
Now, going into the next section of the video, I'm going to be saying very bluntly how people felt. There's no right or wrong here,
I believe
only
this
the
is what is
actual
known
opinions
as
held
the
by people,
boomer
and
term.
more importantly, why they held those opinions. So, how did Age of Sigmar impact the fans of fantasy? Well, I'd say the 7 stages of grief.
I can hear
Mostly
thank you,
hanging
Chili.
out around the anger part for quite a while. You see, to a fantasy player with 20 years invested into the hobby, it's like anything.
Oh, you dumb cunt.
If you do
Stop
it long
shooting
enough,
each
you
other.
get into a routine. And you don't want too much change. Ever had a grandparent or parent say, well, this is the way I've always done it, that's the way it's always been done? Well, that's the sort of thing going on here. People in Warhammer Fantasy didn't want huge change. They were really comfortable where they were. They didn't need new fluff because they liked their old fluff. Sure, stories change a bit from edition to edition, but you can recognise a lot of the fluff as near identical from edition to edition. To them, it was all washed away overnight, and they hated that. Now, to give some context here, it's like 40k players when Necrons went from Schwarzenegger's Terminator, you know, these brutal killer robots with no emotion, into whiny emo space Egyptians. It was a sudden, massive rewrite of decades-old fluff that fundamentally changed the character of the race.
Yeah, the old Necrons.
It doesn't matter to them if their fluff still exists in some past or alternate reality. What matters to them is the here and now, and people resented the massive change. Next, you have the total rules, or lack thereof, overhaul, where everything changed. Every unit got new stats and worked a completely new way. In games like World of Tanks on PC, for example, they don't change the stats of their premium vehicles. That's the tanks and vehicles you've bought with real money. Because when they change a product you've already paid for, you actually have grounds for a refund. Because it's not the product you bought. Well,
Good
people
night,
bought fantasy
sweet prince.
with the set in concrete tagline that it's a large-scale fantasy battle strategy game. That's the tagline that was sold under for many years.
It
When they
seems
got
like
into
it
the
split
hobby,
the
there was no
community right up.
suggestion of dropping
Yeah,
a small
it really
skirmish
did.
game. It was all about playing a big strategic game. A game where you use your wits to outmaneuver your opponent with large formations of infantry, of cavalry, supported by powerful heroes and war machines. You see, when this changed to a small-scale skirmish game with zero balance at all when it first came out, no points, a terrible bunch of gimmicky rules about, you know, if you're wearing a hoodie or you have a hat on your head or you're wearing the colour purple or whatever, you basically had horrified the fans of fantasy. They were all wondering what the hell happened. They did, after all, expect a 9th edition that would be very similar to the game they had already. So now for them you have the cumulative effects of tearing down the fluff and the core concept of the game, and you wonder why people are pissed off. Why people literally torch their fantasy armies rather than sell them off
Yeah, that was
dust
pretty
on the
funny, man.
shelf. That's how
Dude.
upset they were.
Oh man, there were people, bud, who are uploading videos and shit of them just burning like $10,000 armies that they had built up over 10 years, bud. That is fucking hatred, bud. That is pure
Wait,
hatred.
were those rules true with the clothing?
Yeah,
That seems
dude.
retarded.
I remember exactly reading one rule in the book itself when I was in Games Workshop store. And it said, there was this one guy who was like supposed to be this crazy chaos warrior because he's lost his mind. I think he was supposed to be a dark elf. So anyway, something relating to chaos. And it said that you can have like I think it was a free movement. It was like a free movement.
Holy balls, you
Or some
don't get
shit.
the turbo nerds angry.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't remember. It gives you some movement or attack for free, but you have to pretend to ride on an imaginary horse and talk to the horse as well. And if you did that, you get a free whatever. there were full-on rules like that. It was fucking weird, man. It was like, well, I know what they were doing. What they wanted to do was turn Warhammer Fantasy and make it go for a younger audience. That's what they've been doing at the moment. They want a younger audience. Because the audience they have, it's loyal, but it's...
They turned it into role-playing.
Yeah, they kind of did that. They got a lot of, where you have to do shit. It wasn't just about playing a game. They wanted you to get up and do shit. And it was fucking dumb. But yeah, they wanted to target a younger audience. Because yeah, the older audiences, the ones that had all the neckbeards, they're a loyal fan base, but they've already bought all their shit. And they're going to be real picky as well. So they want a newer fan base in that's more open and less likely to be picky. And you'll see that with Warhammer 40k now. It's gone... It's a lot less grimdark. Well, it's a lot less grim and a lot more heroic. It's
Warhammer, younger audience, grimdark.
Yeah, but it's not as grimdark anymore. It's heroic dark. As if I can describe it like this. Grimdark is everything's shit and you're gonna die. Whereas heroic dark is everything is shit, but look at you defy the odds. And that's what they're going for. And, you know, there's really no other way to put it, but 40k is feeling a lot less like 40k.
And frankly, it is a perfectly logical reaction to be pissed off when someone shits on you like that.
Man,
the thing was, what Game
playing
Workshop
Warhammer,
did was heavy-handed and poorly
is like
implemented.
going out
Fantasy
with
players,
the girl of your
I get
dreams,
you, I totally get
but
you.
her dad is just absolutely fucking insane.
No.
Now
Noble
that's out
Bright.
of the way, let's look at the other side. The pro-Sigmas.
Nah, not Noble Bright.
The people who...
They got the
want to
noble,
invest
but they
into
still want the
fantasy,
dark.
Age of Sigmar is a welcome new addition.
But they
don't
can't
have
even
to
really
fork
do
out
dark that
incredibly
well
vast
anymore.
sums of money, time, energy into building a
They
fantasy
just go
army.
grim dirt.
They can instead just focus on a small army that better reflects their needs. They can
Oop,
also
that
buy
happened to
whatever
me
units
once.
they like. There's no real cap on that. So if they want to collect vampires, rather than having to build a huge horde of zombies, they might just
yeah,
choose to
it's
actually
a
build a
shit
force of
situation,
just
and
vampires. I get
Usually at the end of the day,
LOL
you gotta-
Grimderb.
Yeah?
the game itself
But
is
yeah, you
so
gotta do
simple
what I
and
did
easy
and
to
just
learn.
say,
People
nah,
can get
enough,
into it
I
straight
can't
away.
deal with this.
4 pages is quite a bit better than 400 pages or so in 8th edition, right? It's casual, it's simple, it's quick to learn, quick to get into. It's basically the perfect game for the casual end of the hobby. It also had some really cool sculpts, and it's going in a new direction. It's not stagnant like 40k and Fantasy both were, up until their respective end times began. Overall, there are a lot of positives with Age of Sigmar. So now I've presented both sides of the argument. Well, where do you go next in a video? Logically, I should point out that both sides could have been appeased with just a little more thought from Games Workshop in the first place. And, you know, since the release of Age of Sigmar, a lot has changed at Games Workshop. The new CEO is taking it in a better direction. I find myself getting paused to saying a good direction, because there's a lot still to do in my mind before they can fix the last 10 years of fuck-assing about. They took on player feedback to some degree, and actually introduced a point system for some kind of balanced play, which I hear is actually quite good. Scenario play is another thing they introduced with goals and objectives, and you still have that original free-for-all system that the game released with. So overall, I'd say the system is actually on the up and up. This is of course not much help for the old hands. They miss their square base and they want that feeling of being Napoleon or Caesar. For the old hands, no matter what people say, you know your old world is dead. It's being retconned. It was like the Star Wars special editions, it damaged what came before. Games Workshop's your George Lucas. I do, however, suggest to you that you do give Age of Sigmar a go.
Maybe we
Still not up
we
to your
Warhammer and
cup
Star
of
Wars
tea.
fans need to get together one time.
Which it probably won't be for many
And grieve
people.
about the old times.
I would suggest that you maybe try Kings of War system. That's really fucking good. Hell, they'll even let you use your old models, I hear. Even failing that, there's a fan-made
Dang,
9th edition.
the
which,
Star
again,
Wars
I hear
warmer
is pretty good.
comparison.
So there's options
Yeah,
out
yeah.
Now, the last point I want to touch on is the finances. Did Age of
Star
Sigmar
Wars
revive
asterisk.
GW? Well, the financial figures coming out of GW say yes. Well, they say yes.
Yeah, Star Wars
But
has seen a lot of
I
shit.
dug a little deeper than the average shitposter on Facebook. I went out and I polled over 20 different forums and hangouts and found out what the most popular products as a whole were coming out of Games Workshop. They were boxed
It doesn't
games.
seem as bad as new Star Wars at least.
So,
Yeah, it's
games
not,
like
it's
Blood
not
Bowl,
that far, but
Space
they
Hulk,
got...
etc.
Star Wars has Disney Crawl. Oh, no,
Horus
actually,
Heresy boxes,
Disney has bought Games Workshop, bud.
which weren't being used as games.
I'm not even
which
fucking
were being
joking.
used to actually quickly
I will
build
show
up
you
the-
this right fucking now. I am absolutely certain. Disney, or maybe they're just in a trade deal. Disney Games Workshop. Yeah, here we go. Isn't anyone talking
Wait,
about
they
Disney
did.
Play?
Fuck. Fuck me chili.
Fucking Disney, man. Why can't I open this? Yeah, we'll just zoom in like that.
We're so screwed.
Yay. But yeah, that's business. That's business. I saw that one guy in the comment. Oh no, now they're gonna start making cartoony figures. Oh wait. I'm pretty sure there's this other chick.
In the grim darkness of the near future, there is only Disney.
Norm Queen Alexa, I think. I'm gonna go Alex. Yes, this chick. I'm pretty sure she does a video. I think she had a video of Marvel and Games Workshop all working together. Is this the same chick I'm thinking? Yes, it is the same chick I'm thinking. I'm subscribed. I mean, fucking how many Girl Warhammer players are there? Maybe a lot in Russia and Asia. Would it be in Asia? I don't know.
Marvel and dubs. It has potential at least.
Marvel. Oh, what the fuck? I give up. It's too hard. Back to the original video. We run away to fight another day.
Infantry and Horus Heresy armies. They sold big because of a host of factors, such as it being the only way to acquire certain characters or to get plastics at a decent rate. Age of Sigmar itself sold actually really well. You see, I found that fuck all people actually buy it, but those that do love it. Many that I spoke to said that they bought a box of
I
Kelp,
always
but
wanted
they
to
LOL.
bought 4 to 6 times the cost of that
I
Age
always
of
wanted to
Sigmar
play
models.
the
Well,
original
you're talking
Warhammer Fantasy.
thousands of dollars here.
Well, by the time I
Age
had
of
the money to
Sigmar
get
being
it,
bought
they
by,
switched over to Age of
one
Sigmar.
person.
Because I wanted to have a Chaos Army that I could use
Of course,
in both
looking at the
40k
Sigmar
and
prices,
Fantasy.
you know, a bit of sarcasm here, but that could just be 2 or 3 units for all I know, because
So pretty much all
the
my
prices are ludicrous for some of these sculpts. Anyway,
I'd use a lot of the regular troops as cultists as well. In 40k.
overall, Kelth and Prospero ran away with the large purchases people were making. They represented nearly half of all the sales people. And that said, as a final note on finances,
But yeah.
a lot of the 30k stuff is
no,
purchased
mate,
online or
see,
through
Dang
Okay,
chili,
these
that's some
suppliers.
bad timing.
Yeah,
Generally, they
dude,
don't want
I've
to deal
had
with
worse
Games
time.
Workshop directly.
When I
Age of
first
Sigmar, on the other hand, seems to do
got
really
into
well in the
40K
actual Games Workshop
tabletop,
stores. And
first
consequently,
army
many
I
managers
bought
remarked to me that it
was
was
Grey Knights.
making up
back
the
when they
bulk
were
of their
just Demon
sales,
Hunters.
which I think is very interesting
I
to know.
bought a squad of
Anyway,
Grey Knights. No, 2
at the
squads
end
of
of
Grey
all
Knights
this, I
and a
hope
squad
I've
of
given
Grey
some
Knight
perspective as
Terminators.
to why people love and loathe
And then
what happened with Fantasy.
the day I bought them,
It's not easy for
they
either
were
side to
officially
get around.
cancelled. And I
But
wouldn't
at least
see
we can
Grey
surely
Knights
feel for the
in
people who
production
lost their
ever
version of
again
the hobby.
until like 3
It
years later.
sucks.
Where they
And
came
what
out
truly
as
worries
plastic
me now
models
is
and they were
another
so
heavy-handed
hilariously
swing at
overpowered
40k
I
trying to
didn't
fix
even bother
that.
playing them.
Where all 40k really needs is just a few gentle taps in the right direction and a little grease on the squeaky wheels. So, as I said at the start, I think people expected me to go into this just whinging
But yeah,
and
it
whining
was,
about how
it was funny as fuck
Age of
because
Sigmar
every
is the
time I
worst of
played,
how
because I just went Space Marines after that.
OOF.
Warhammer Fantasy was the devil.
For the rest of
and
the
Age
time I
Sigmar
played
is
that
the
game,
best thing since sliced
I would just have a whole Space
Frankly,
Marine army.
both
And then there'd
statements
just
are
be
true.
this one little group of Grey Knights and one little
Just
group of
finding
Grey
a
Knight
nice common ground.
Terminators.
Nothing will ever make the people
And I
who,
had this. I
upset
couldn't
at
even.
this fantasy happy.
I didn't even get the chance to buy a fucking codex. I had to
But,
go
you know, It's
online,
here to stay. There's no
find a
going back,
fucking.
I'm afraid
I
to
mean,
say.
I know a
So
guy
it's
who
either
knows a guy
suck
that
up
found a
and move
torrent
on,
for me,
or stick with
and
what you
had
got.
to go print that off manually.
As always, thanks very much for watching the video. Leave your thoughts below.
So everywhere I went, I had
See you
the
all next time.
official Space Marine Codex, hardcover, all the fancy artwork, and then just this stack of paper stapled together with Demon Hunters written on the front like it's a fucking first draft of a script.
Dang. What a nerd. I don't know what the fuck is Shruggy caps.
Oh, the morale's breaking, that makes sense. You're just screaming at me, fucking nerd! Yeah, that's not too bad.
LOL. I also discovered TG in that wiki. It is hilarious.
Ah, TG, bud. It's a bit different than it was back in the day. Because I think the, I haven't been on 4chan in ages. Last time I was on, though, it definitely felt like the audience was, there are a lot more younger sort of fellas on New Blood. But that's just what happens when shit gets popular. And so, the TG of my times is pretty much the 8chan TG, because a lot of the old guard went there, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know if they gave up and went back. But dude, TG got shit done, man. They were the most reliable fucking board on all of 4chan. And there's all these funny screenshots. I know there was this one where it's just like, it has the first post, and it's like, this furry maid or whatever. I can't remember. Oh, I can't remember what it was, but it was some furry thing being a cock tease, and it says something. And it was in some sort of relation to being a barmaid. And then it says like 144 posts. And then it has the most recent post, and it's two cunts having an argument over how, I think it was an argument over how you can't have two black holes collide or some shit. That it's not physically possible. Because like TG was, they were like every other board. They love to derail threads, but they were backwards in their derailment. Whereas like everywhere else in 4chan, you ask a sensible question and they derail it into just nonsense gibberish of either just gore, yelling at each other, or fucking porn. TG, they would devolve themselves into fucking debates. Pretty still gibberish,
that's
but it's
amazing.
gibberish about fucking physics. It's gibberish about like Warhammer lore and crap like that, and all these weirdly specific topics. But TG was the best. They had one there was one, I think TG started going downhill a bit, or started going mainstream, when quest threads became real fucking popular. Everyone was doing quest threads. It became so popular to the point that everyone cracked the shits at them, and so they had to make their own boards, specifically for quest threads, so they would fuck off.
They sound like turbo nerds, which is great.
Yeah, bud. Hyper turbo nerds. The first question I ever asked on there, I was like, hey man, hey guys, I don't want to start a war, but we want to play D&D, what edition do you reckon? And at first, every cunt's useful. It's just trying to help out. And then cunts start arguing over their opinions. But they're always arguing about real deep mechanics and shit like that. So even though they're just arguing, you're still getting a lot of information from it. It's the most productive, unproductive argument. You know?
LOL, that's great.
The only thing I ever really go on 4chan nowadays for is if I'm bored and I want to draw something, I like to go on.
Artists like that rule the world, honestly.
Yeah, but don't underestimate power of the tism.
Or they will, I mean.
I can't remember what. I'm pretty sure like all the big figures in history have some sort of mental deficiency or psychological deficiency. Whether that's autism or some shit like that. I know Albert Einstein had it. Fuck, there was another scientist that had it. I can't remember his name though. I know Julius Caesar had epilepsy.
For example, that reptilian robot Zuckerberg basically applied that autism to real life, and now we have a technocracy in the form of Facebook.
Fucking Facebook, man. That face when you accidentally install shadow government and give them unlimited power when all you wanted to do was rate hot chicks on the internet. Fuck Facebook, man. That thing needs to fucking die. That thing is evil.
Facebook is fucking scary, man. They have a profile of you if you never register with them.
Yeah. Like, I remember I went to go delete my Facebook. And then it says like, oh, yeah, we'll delete your Facebook. And then I had to go hit my mate up for something, so I was like, oh, well, I'll quickly reinstate my Facebook thing again. And they're like, oh, we have all your data.
I have a profile only because I have to use it for work.
Yeah, I barely use Facebook. I think the only thing I use it for, quote unquote, is because other groups and little social gatherings I know, they use Facebook. And I've got a Silly Bite Facebook page, which I never fucking update because I never use fucking Facebook. Otherwise, I just scroll down my feed and shit post, tell everyone all their hopes and dreams are wrong and that they should go kill themselves and they suck. You know, shit like that. I pride myself on losing as many friends on Facebook as possible. Okay, when I left high school, so this is like 6 years ago, I had, I think, like 320 friends. Nowadays, I only have, I think, about 96. So we've really thinned the herd on that.
Thumbs up and laughing crying emoji. I've consistently floated 150 to 180 friendos. After the Trump election, I lost about 20 since I supported the God Emperor.
Fuck, you Americans take your politics so goddamn seriously, bud. I remember watching this guy's video, and he was talking about like some political stuff when he doesn't really talk about politics. And he's like, oh, I'm assuming you're American. But he was like,
I didn't even say anything in support.
Oh, true. Damn, eh? Just excommunicated. Excommunicated from the church, bud.
I just said, guys, he might not be actually Hitler. But no.
I mean, I don't even get the whole fucking, oh, he's the next Hitler, and I'm like, dude, you're giving Donald Trump way too much credit. He's not smart enough to destroy the world, okay? You don't destroy the world by accident. Oh, but yeah, this guy was saying that, he's like, oh, I'm sure we've all had to deal with this before, where you're not allowed to mention a candidate or talk about a certain type of politics.
He is honestly really smart though.
I don't know. It's a bit iffy. I wouldn't say smart, I'd say skilled.
Xbox, Hugh, real estate empire and whatnot.
Yeah, I would say Donald Trump isn't smart, he's skilled. He knows how to, he's got the ability to get what he wants. But in deciding what he wants, I feel he can be quite short-sighted. I think that's a fair assessment. That's my opinion. Because there's no doubting, man. He knows how to sell himself. He's got... I guess that's
this
what makes
is true.
Yeah, I think that's
winning
what makes...
bigly.
Yeah, I guess that's what makes him such a phenomenon and why he's so hard to predict, because he's quite the anomaly in his existence. He's like... God, you could use this for... Surely this has to be an anime plot or something. He's like this guy... Actually, he's One Punch Man, bud. One Punch Man. He's not really that smart, but he's just got a hectic amount of skill. Oh, well, One Punch Man does have, you know, superhuman strength, but still, you get the point. But yeah, I think that's what leads to people underestimating him, is that they can see he's stupid, but they...
Autistic One Punch Man, basically.
I don't think Donald Trump's autistic. Because yeah, he would be autistic if he was smart, but he doesn't have smarts, he's got skill, and that's why he's narcissistic. And that's probably why he's so confident in his, why he's so skilled, because he's just so confident in his skills. But yeah, because the fact he's not that smart makes people underestimate it, and then they're not properly prepared for how skilled he is.
11 million to Israel. Are you tired of winning yet? Certainly not the kind of autistic we talked about here, liar.
Yeah. Well,
Never
all,
tired of winning, my man.
Get shit on Hillary though. That's funny as fuck. She got wrecked so hard. What do we want? Void shield. I'm curious to see if he can make it in another time. Just like...
Hillary would have gotten us into WW3.
I don't know if I'd necessarily say World War III, but she would have gotten us into another major conflict.
Hillary is basically Horus. Yeah. I don't know who else she'd compare to. Hillary equals Epstein friendo.
Well, fucking everyone at the top's Epstein's friend from the looks of things. What do we got?
Epstein was just trying to tie his shoe, but he accidentally hanged himself.
Oh man. Fucking world, bud. This fucking world. Oh, let's hope we can hold off this assault. That fucking war truck's, it's, tickling my jimmies.
Honestly, with how the world is, I don't blame people for trying to start colonies on the moon or Mars or whatnot.
But it's not that simple, man. It's really not.
It may only be a matter of time until some huge disaster or something happens and Earth gets wrecked.
Well, the thing is, the Earth has been through a lot worse. It's been through a lot worse than humans could ever do. The world will live on. It's just that we won't. That's usually what most apocalyptic scenarios come down to. Unless we just get caught in a fucking supernova. Then we're dead.
Human-caused disaster, I mean.
Yeah. Because I don't think... human-caused disaster, I'm pretty sure, would just lead to our extinction. Probably extinction of tons of other things. But the Earth will eventually clean itself and sort itself out. It'll do something. But it's going to live on for a lot longer than we will. Because, dude, the Earth has been through a lot, bud. It's been through a lot.
Yeah, Earth will be fine long term, even if it's nuclear.
I I mean, the Earth doesn't really give a shit if it's a ball of radiation. It's just kind of us. Fuck, these armor-piercing rounds make it easy. Oh, no, not enough.
We gotta get out of here.
Yes.
I do wonder what a survival scenario would be like though, if a colony of humans escaped to the moon right before it got nuked and they were the only survivors. If
I
they
get-
survived, it might be Mechanicum IRL?
Nah, the moon doesn't have much resources on it. So you can't really evolve. You just die of attrition eventually. Because the simple fact is, we gotta eat something. Now here's the thing about biodomes, is that because you have an environment that's like 100 times smaller than the Earth's environment.
Probably same with Mars honestly.
Yeah. Mars is a bit better because you can at least get water. And then with water you can, if you have the right environment, you can grow trees. But here's the problem, you're gonna need a biodome of some kind. And the problem with biodomes is that they're an enclosed climate. And when you have a climate that's 100 times smaller than the climate on Earth, that climate is evolving at 100 times the rate it does on Earth. So you're experiencing climate change 100 times faster. And the Earth's climate has been like a fucking ball of ice, a ball of fire, completely flooded, complete grasslands. It's just been changing like crazy over its existence. Because I know they had this one biodome. Pretty sure there's a video where Thunderfoot talks about it, but I don't know what video. But they found that they didn't have enough plants to catch up all the carbon dioxide they were breathing out. And same with all the animals and shit they had with them. And another problem was that I think an ant managed to get inside. And then this ant didn't have any fucking natural predators, so it just fucking bred out of control. And then cockroaches started breeding out of control because they thrived in the conditions of increasing carbon, constantly controlled temperature and stuff like that. So they started breeding out of control. Until I'm pretty sure by the end of it, like 90% of
LOL, that's hilarious.
all life in the dome was pretty much just ants or cockroaches. And then they had to end the experiment before they finished the year-long cycle, because if they let it go on any further, the carbon dioxide levels would have gotten too high and they all would have died. So, trust me, for all intents and purposes, this is it. We have the one planet. Because you're looking at best, another 50 years of straight development before someone can figure out how to do it. It's not happening anytime soon. And that's not taking into account anything that's going to happen in the meantime. Because I think what might be the big stabilizer will be another major conflict of some kind. Another major conflict of some kind, or a major environmental disaster. And that'll be the planet trying to maintain itself. In the same way your body, when it gets a
Dang,
fever, it
we
heats
need
itself
Trump's
up.
Space Force ASAP.
Fucking Space Force, bud. Space Marines! Woo! But I think Space Force already exists. I'm pretty sure it's just the Air Force. I think the whole idea was to make it a dedicated wing, though. But, yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't think you really can make a dedicated wing of it because there's just not enough. You can't really practice for it. I mean, you kind of can, but not really. And there's, yeah, you don't really need to.
That's the idea.
Yeah, you don't really need to make it its own dedicated division because there's pretty much no conflict in space. And that's mainly because if someone pulls out a gun and shoots someone, everyone's dead. The Terminator there.
I like the idea, but I feel like NASA needs to be developed further to start thinking about a Space Force.
Yeah, there's no need, yeah.
Space tech in general.
Yeah, true. But the grim reality is scientists don't really get that much funding. No one really cares. People want fucking little shit. No, I don't want to pay more fucking taxes. Or, oh, the government should be spending money on fucking national security. Some shit like that.
There's also a lot of corruption in science, honestly.
Yeah.
Case in point, climate change.
Climate change, yeah. Like, yeah, the message of climate change kind of really been lost. Yeah. How to put this? Well, I guess we'll start as point one. Yeah, it's an actual thing, and it's a real problem. Really bad problem. I think that, climate change will be the environment.
Don't you believe the climate changes?
Well, the climate does change. It changes all the fucking time. Well, in a galactic scale. Like, when we say all the time, I mean over billions of years. But you need to understand is that a lot of climate change people think that it's going to be the end of the world. And no, it's not the end of the world. It's just going to lead to a mass extinction of people. Because that's what always happens. Whenever there's a major change to the climate of Earth,
OFC.
It doesn't kill everything, but it always kills the dominant species. The first, I know there was another one beforehand, but
They act like humans are the only cause of it.
Well, technically they're right. It is because of humans, because we've overdeveloped and shit like that. We've overpopulated as well, but it's not entirely the case. Technically, it's real weird. But I'll put it this way: the main The main cause of climate change, one of the biggest contributors to greenhouse gases, is cows. Cows farting. A lot of cows farting. But the only reason there's so many cows is because we as humans eat the fuckers, and so we bred them. But for all intents and purposes, all practical intents and purposes, yeah, it's our fault. Like, how to say? It's pretty much climate change is the amalgamation.
Green New Deal, am I right?
Green New Deal. Well. It's really weird. It's real awkward to say. Because, yes, we do need to start moving to more environmentally friendly sources of energy and resources and blah, blah, blah. But it's not that simple. You can't just kick over all the coal factories and then just replace them with solar farms. It's just not that simple. It's ludicrously complicated on so many levels. And you're not gonna solve this problem until you get everyone's attention focused on it. But naturally, they're focused on other things. Because, and I mean,
Nuclear is a great option, but the knee-jerk reaction to it is just, oof.
Yeah, but I think nuclear is, at the moment, just short of its mark. If I could put it like this, I think I said this before. Nuclear is the future, but solar and wind and hydro and all that is the now. And coal and fucking fossil fuels and shit like that, that's the past. I think we need to move past that. And nuclear will be the future, but at the moment, I think solar and wind and shit like that should slowly start trying to take on the role as the bulk of the energy production. Well, not necessarily those two, but just a greener form of energy. So like, there should be more development and research into making nuclear more efficient, because that's the problem at the moment. They've gotten past...
If they can figure out hydrogen, that would also be great future opposition.
Yeah. Well, because I know the big problem with nuclear energy at the moment is they've gotten over the hazardous hurdle. Like, nuclear power stations nowadays are extremely safe and extremely stable. Where, like, a nuclear power plant detonating is the same likelihood of a coal plant detonating. But it doesn't quite have the energy production. And the thing about solar and wind is that it's not as static as coal or a nuclear, because you need a power plant. You need a power plant right there and then. Whereas wind and solar, you could just kind of put it wherever you want. You know, you can put wind farms in the middle of the ocean. You can't just slap a coal plant in the middle of the ocean or slap a fucking nuclear power plant in the middle of the ocean. Like, you can, but it'd be fucking ludicrously impractical. But yeah, I'm pretty hippie, bud. I'll say that. I think climate change is a real big problem. I think that should be on the forefront of every nation's mind. I think people violently underestimate the consequences of what's coming next. But I know it's not that simple. I know it's not just as simple as everyone just put down, stop doing this and do that. It's a slow and arduous process, and
Maybe we should go full Matrix/communism and use the poor people themselves as energy.
let me tell you right now, scientifically, that's actually worse. Because, as we established when we were talking about the biodome, when humans breathe, they throw out carbon dioxide. So if you have a lot of people running, they're going to be exhausted, so they're going to breathe in more carbon dioxide. And because they're exhausting themselves, they're going to need to eat more food. So now we've got to make more cows so they can eat them, which is more carbon dioxide. So, humans are actually very, 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 very bad batteries. Fuck, what am I even doing with my life? End my turn. But yeah, I mean, even from a financial
LOL.
standpoint.
Big oof.
Yeah, it really is. The devil is in the details, bud. But yeah, I know, especially nowadays, I'm pretty sure green energy is becoming a lot more profitable. So I think businesses are now trying to take the first step towards it more so than governments. Because even vehicle technology is slowly moving away.
You've been talking to a random bloke on the internet for the past 2 hours. That's what you're doing with your life.
No, not entirely. I've also been playing Sanctus Reach and cleansing these disgusting green skins from this planet. We're sending them back where they came from, boys. Actually, 10 o'clock. After this game, might flip over the Bitwave, and then we can go watch some funny shit. Yeah, I'm keen to go on Bitwave. We'll watch the. We'll be a.
Plus rep.
Yeah. Oh, we'll go be a wee bit naughty, yeah. We'll get some hardcore edge going. You know, that's the beauty of the internet. You know you've had a good adventure on the internet when you gotta just close the browser down and you just sit back in your chair and you're like, that's enough. That's enough internet for one day. I think I'm gonna go outside for a while.
I honestly need to get some sleep, though it is 6 a.m. here in Americaland.
True that. It's, yeah, what's that, 10, 11 here.
My parents are convinced I have a normal sleep schedule.
Oh well. What they don't know can't hurt them. What's this gun at? He's got the Hellfire on it. Fire on that. I can mince these guys. Wuss.
Anyway, it's been real talking with you Chili Bike fam, THX for the laughs and the memes and all the swag.
No worries, bud. You have yourself a nice night. Sweet dreams. If you don't have a sweet dream, then I'm gonna come over to your house and kick the shit out of you. And don't you think I don't know where you live, Connor? God, how hectic would it be if that was actually your name?
U2 M80. I will leave you with Boreal.
Yeah, have a good one, bud.
And if we die this day we die in glory, we die heroes' deaths, but we shall not die, no. It is the enemy who will test a death and defeat, as you know. Most of OUA battle brothers are stationed in.
Bud, what am I doing with my life?
Tur has been prepared in the event that OUA enemies should be so bald and so foolish. We have placed numerous beacons, allowing for multiple, simultaneous and devastating defensive deep strikes.
I love how you've written it in such a way that it mimics the accent as best as possible.
Unfortunately am not Connor, Jacob is my name though. Anyway, good night fraggot.
Have a good one, you Niger. That country in Africa. Oh, buddy. Must be me turn. Yeah, seems like me turn. It's a bit quiet without background noise. There's a funny one.
Boy, I sure do yearn for the abyss. Well, now you can waste your time better with League of Legends. No life and no money? Perfect. League.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Hey guys, Mac here with the Outer Circle, and today I'm doing something I promised some people I would do a little while back, which is we're going to take another look at the 40k Chaos Space Marines Codex, and I'm going to try not to rant. Basically, I want to explain a few of the gripes that Chaos players tend to have about this thing, in a little detail to people who may be not familiar with the problems. Because I often notice online, especially on forums, Facebook, things like that, that people seem to think the state of things is okay with the Codex, that for whatever reason, Chaos players just want everything Marines have plus more. That's not true, and I just want to establish it as a fact here today that Chaos players are pissed off because since 3rd edition there's been no evolution inside the books. Now, people listening to this are probably thinking, Macca, you're fucking insane. And yes, that's true, I probably am insane. But when I say there's been no evolution, it's because I'm holding in my hands books from the 90s. I'm holding the 3rd edition core rulebook in my hand right now. See, in the days of 3rd edition, you actually got your army lists printed inside the main rulebook. Now, they weren't perfect army lists. They were a rough stepping off point for all the armies that were involved in the game at the time. The main armies, so you know, your Eldar, Orcs, Marines, Chaos. There was no Tau, there was no Necrons, any of that kind of thing. Now, when I look at this, the Chaos and the Marines are practically identical. The only special rules that Marines had was, and they shall know no fear. And that Marines in Terminator armor can move and fire with heavy weapons. Now, if I flip over to the section involving the Chaos Space Marines, the only rule they're lacking that the Marines have is, and they shall know no fear. But otherwise, they're identical. Now, throughout this book, I can compare unit to unit, stat to stat, and apart from the land speeders, the attack pike squadrons, and the scout squads, the whirlwinds, and the vindicators, Marines and Chaos are identical. Chaos, however, has units the Marines don't. Chaos has the greater demons, of course, the demon prince, and the lesser demons. There's also specialist units such as the Khorne Berserkers, the Thousand Sons, the Plague Marines. However, back in this time they were less specialised and their stats were mostly just stock Marine stats with a minor buff. The Marines from Thousand Sons, for example, had an extra wound. There was nothing fancy about them. Now, at some point along the way, Marines and Chaos both got 4th edition codexes, and inside the 4th edition codex, for Chaos it was actually the 3.5 codex. The war gear and the special rules allowed absolutely skyrocketed. So a bunch of what they called universal special rules at the time were introduced. These were Tank Hunter, Furious Charge, etc., etc. Now, these were special rules that could be obtained for paying points, points premiums, and these codexes were great. They allowed you to really customize your army. Every army was unique, it was individual. The Marine armies at the time, for example, got to pick basically 3 special rules. There's a big list of special rules. Now, certain chapters had set rules, but if you're making your own chapter, you could pick, say, bikes as troops, apothecaries as sergeants, and something else. So I had a Marine army at the time, which I bought from a guy, and they were the Black Paladins. It was an all-Space Marine bike army, and
buddy.
all the squad sergeants were apothecaries,
The best!
which, as you can imagine, was a rather brutal affair. Keeping in mind, this is the exact same time frame that the Chaos Space Marines had the 3.5 decks, the one that everyone complains about as too cheesy and too overpowered. But apparently, a whole army of toughness 5 bikes with apothecaries in every squad wasn't. So, whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm gonna jump shit from you.
Along came late 4th edition, early 5th edition, and we had a new Chaos Space Marine Codex got released, a very infamous one. It was written by Gav Thorpe, and to be fair to the guy, it's not his fault that it's shit. That's on Games Workshop, because their mindset was, we want to simplify the game. Now, this mindset was something they only had in their mind for about 2 weeks. If they're on an alcohol-fueled binge, or, I don't know, snorting cocaine off a hooker's ass, these things happen, but what happened was Chaos Space Marines got watered right down. They went from an amazing Legion book with lots of variety, where everything could be represented as per the fluff, to a very bland book where you're essentially forced. You are sort of strong-armed into playing Chaos Renegades. So specifically Red Corsairs and Black Legion type armies. Which you can imagine what that did to the Chaos players. So if you want to know where the bitterness started, it was there. Because if, say you're a loyalist Space Marine player, for example, someone comes along to you and they say, Space Marines are cool and all, but we're going to take away your Blood Angels. We're going to take away your Space Wolves. We're going to take away your Dark Angels.
Sorry, I was
From
listening
now
to
on,
it,
you will all
what I was
play
talking about.
not even Ultramarines. You play something less
But
interesting than Ultramarines.
if you're
You
feeling
kind
this,
of feel a bit, you know,
this is
a
where
bit slighted.
I'll be leaving you.
And that's
on
how Chaos
YouTube.
players felt.
And
All the war gear was
what else is
gone.
this on?
All
Twitch,
the cool
at
stuff
Gato.
was gone.
I'll be
And
leaving
then we
you
look over at Marines.
to go get a quick
When
snack.
Marines got their 5th edition book,
then
they got given
I'll
2
be
new
heading over
rules.
to stream
These were
on
chapter tactics and
bigwave.tv,
combat tactics.
where it will officially be not safe
Chaos
for
also
work.
lost their demons.
We'll crank on the R18,
small amount of lesser demons left in their book.
or
'cause
whatever the
demons got
rating is
gutted
relative to your country.
to make their own codex, which to me
we're gonna
is
watch some
still a
naughty
lacking
shit.
codex.
We're gonna watch some naughty shit.
The two armies really do belong together.
We're gonna have a field
Chaos
day.
Space
That's what
Marines
we're
and
gonna
Chaos
do. We're gonna
Demons,
get loose.
because neither
Get
formation
fucking
has
loose,
really been
cunt.
fleshed out
It's
enough
Saturday.
to
It's Saturday for
stand on
me
its own
anyway.
legs.
So it's Saturday for you now.
Because at this point in time, the
Alright,
only
Macca,
extra
shut
unit
the fuck up. We're jumping shit. See you